What is up, folks? Welcome back to another live stream repair. We've got, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 that we gotta try to get through today. Before we get started, I need to clean my desk up here real quick. Don't mind me, just a WLA Phantom reactor custom in pieces. I procured this for not a good deal, and unfortunately it is also not working. It powers up. The power LED on the back lights up for 10 seconds or so, but it doesn't reset, doesn't make any noise, doesn't do anything else. So I took it apart, and goodness, I can't find anything obviously wrong with it. I have unfortunately gotten quite a bust here with this, and I'm kind of bummed because it was my first WLA. I was really looking forward to getting a chance to listen to one of these, even though it's one of the smaller ones. I mean, look at this. This is significant. You've got 2 active subs. You've got this absolutely monstrously weighted, like there's probably like 2 pounds, 2 or 3 pounds in that tweeter alone. And the way that they all connect is very fascinating. Oh, very funny. I had no problems getting it apart. There was some fellow that put a YouTube video up years ago showing how they took theirs apart, and it was very excellent in helping me get mine. But unfortunately, it didn't get me any closer to a solution. I actually posted on the electronics repair subreddit, hoping someone might have any ideas as to what's going on here, point me in the direction. And what other folks there seem to be thinking the same thing that I'm thinking, which is there's some sort of logic issue. Maybe one of the chips, probably one of the chips that either stores the BIOS or the firmware that runs this thing has gone kaput, or maybe it just needs a US, like a software restore, but without a way to push the software to it. Unfortunately, it's dead in the water. And of course, you know, there aren't nearly as many of these out there as homepods, and even fewer people out there fixing these. So I didn't find anything out there. Seems like a similar story though to the HomePods and how we got into all of that. No one knew how to fix them, and if it broke, you were kind of on your own unless you wanted to pay the manufacturer a ridiculous price to fix it or whatever. Let's try to make some room here. Get my desk all cleared off here. Well, hopefully one day I'll figure it out. Hopefully before the dust gets to the parts. In other news, I've recently also acquired this. Not this guy. Oh, but what's that? It's a hole from the factory in the base of this HomePod. I have one of these in space gray. But this one's kind of strange. It seems to be running 18.2 already, but it won't reset. It doesn't respond to any touch when you first turn it on. Check this out. When you first turn it on, nothing. Nothing at all. You've got 1 watt of power draw at the wall after that 7 watt spike. So your gut is like, well, it's not working. Right? But there it is. And what's really strange is once it's booted up, it works perfectly fine. So you can't reset it, but it otherwise turns on and works just fine.
I'm having trouble connecting.
Quite interesting. So I took a peek at the software that it's running in case it was maybe some special developer version, and it seems to not be anything special on there. I don't want to take this apart just yet, but I will be very soon. I'm going to put this somewhere safe for now. And we are going to move on to our repairs for today. We are actually going to first take a look at this here brick. It has got, I believe, the blinkies. Let's take a look here, see? And we'll let Millie know that they are up here and now. Let's get their name up on the screen too. After Millie, we are going to take care of Chris with their brick. They have, we've already done the software restore on theirs. It was successful with nothing more than a software restore, and they opted for the hardware maintenance to keep it going as long as possible. So we'll knock that out for Chris. Then we've got, is that Dave? Yeah, that's a Dave. We've got Dave with no power. Claude with no power. An anonymous no power, number 297. Wow, it's been a while. And then John with some bad DC filters. And then lastly, another anonymous no power. Okay. Let's let these folks know that their HomePods are up for fixing here. All right. Millie has been notified. We need to let Dave know. Let's find Dave. Dave is up next. Where is Dave? 319. Ah, I don't even have my laptop. Let me go grab that. Okay. We've got the laptop. We're gonna need a room temperature canned beverage. Stefan, welcome back. One day closer and one day away from getting that MacBook yourself, huh? Let us retrieve our USB adapter. My pod, my parts, mine. Okay. The grand reveal. Has this been messed with? Ooh, someone's been in here. Oh. Someone tried. Someone tried getting in there, but they didn't succeed. You can't hide from me. I know you tried. Let's see. Mike, what is up? Welcome. That is a great question. That is probably one of the best questions I've had here in a long time. For those watching after the fact and have no access to the live chat until two months after the live stream's been published, Mike said if a HomePod farts and nobody's around to hear it, does it even really fart? Oh, it really farts. No one has to be around to hear it for it to do its damage. Let's see. So we're gonna try a good old excuse me, software restore here. Q. Boop. Hocus pocus. Get that out of the way. And one day that will focus. There we go. Alright, let's plug it into some power. Let's give it a good old Gaster Pone. Gaster reset. iDevice restore. Fingers crossed, fingers crossed, fingers crossed. Give me a good one. I do not want to replace a logic board, especially in a space gray pod. But if we must, then we will, we'll see, we'll give Millie here their options after the stream here. That failed really quickly. Okay. Possibly invalid IBEC. I believe I've got a stack of boards like that, yeah. I think that's a CPU issue. I think that's like a main SoC issue because it's not even... Wow. We'll try it one more time here. It's either a CPU issue or maybe the RAM on top of the CPU. It's interesting how they put the SoCs together on these, but let's give it one more good old shot here. We've got DFU mode. We're gonna pwn it. We're gonna reset it. We're gonna try to restore it. Yeah, it's just not even, we can't even get it into recovery mode. So I think that means either the CPU has died or maybe the physical, I have a feeling maybe the actual NAND itself is dead. It's not a BGA issue. If it was a BGA issue, we would see timeout waiting for NAND, but I'm not sure. But what I do know is, unfortunately, that is a hardware issue. This one, yuckily, will need a new logic board. And yeah, everything's there. Okay. We will let Millie know what happened here. I think I know what they're gonna want, but I want to make sure with them before we do it. Okay. With that, quickly, let's look at Dave's. Let's see if we can at least fix something here and now. Have we let Dave know that they're up next? I think we did. No, we didn't. We went out to grab our MacBook so that we could let Dave know. No, we didn't let Dave know because Dave's not next. It's, where are they? Chris! Look at that, a space gray pod that, it did restore. Restored on a stream or two ago. We'll let them know that we're about to knock out their hardware maintenance here.
Sorry to bother, but it's snowing, so
Oh?
I think we'll just wait and go with you. And we'll go out together. If that's okay. It's not crazy or anything. But I'm not feeling too big like driving down it right now. I love you, buddy, but you've got food and water. You've gotten pets.
He wants more pets. He's like any other cat.
Yeah. He sounds like he smokes 10 packs a day.
Yep.
But if that's okay, tell him I'll just hang out. I'll finish getting ready.
For sure.
And when you're done, we'll head out.
Yeah, let's see. So I got this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So I should be done in about 2 or 3 hours.
What time is it?
It's 1:50.
Okay.
But let me. Every minute that I'm not doing it is a minute that I could be fixing HomePods.
No, I just said I would let you know.
And I could fix 1/16 of a HomePod in the minute that it takes me to sit here and frickin' message people. Let me hold on. I gotta message this fellow.
I just thought I would inform you. No, I looked outside and I said, oh no.
This is what I want AI for. Reliable messaging of my customers while I'm working.
That's what you hire somebody for.
Alright, let me go here so I can go here so I can find the live stream link so I can copy it so I can go here. There we go. Okay, Chris has been mentioned. Dave, we need to let them know. 319. Okay. Da. Do. He. Okay. I think we have messaged a reasonable number of the folks in the queue here.
Okay, last thing, this was insane. She's in there, she had that water bottle, You know that espresso cup she had?
Mhm.
She's pouring the water into the espresso cup and being surprisingly good at it, but then pouring the water on the floor from the cup.
Okay, so we've got Chris's pod here that restored yesterday. Let's go ahead and make sure that it is still a-okay here. And then we'll crack it open, do our stuff to keep it nice and healthy. All right. You know, finally, after, it's been since, I think, November that things got super busy and haven't slowed down since. We're talking like 10, 15 HomePods a day here. But finally, oh, that's what I thought. This does have a crack on it. Anyways, what was I saying? Oh yeah, things are finally slowing down a little bit around here. We'll hopefully regain some free time and be able to do some fun stuff. Everything up on the screen for today's queue is everything that showed up yesterday and today, minus a few that did not want their streams done. Period. They threatened me. No, I'm just kidding. They threatened my family. No, I'm just kidding. They threatened my. No, I'm just kidding. But yeah, sometimes people are just like, do not stream it. I don't care how anonymous it is. Absolutely do not. Even if it's a totally normal HomePod and just another routine repair that would be indistinguishable from anyone's and everyone else's. I get it, and I'm happy to oblige. Not that it makes my job any easier. So don't ask for it if you're trying to make my job easier. It does, but I won't tell anyone that, because I don't want everyone asking for me not to stream theirs, expecting me to get it done sooner. Won't happen. And also, I just want everyone to see as much as we can show. Who knows if we run into a unique repair with your particular pod. I will freaking steal like a 2012 MacBook Air and ship one to you, Stefan, if you don't get that MacBook. I don't know who I'll steal it from, but I'll find someone that doesn't want their 2012 MacBook Air anymore. I don't know why a 2012 MacBook Air. There's nothing particular about it. It's just the first thing that popped in my head to procure from someone less suspecting. Ooh, that really just fell apart. Good thing that's getting replaced. Usually those hold up pretty well. Woo! Hey, I didn't say the 2012 MacBook Air would work. But yeah, anytime. You'd be surprised what people throw away. You'll have to work for it. You'll have to figure out what's wrong with it and fix it. It'll be absolutely cursed and you won't be able to fix it. Oh god, that'd be so awful. Is the white seal thing necessary? Oh, no. No. Rip it and dip it. Never think about it again. My dead capacitor stash, my little cubbies for dead caps that I keep doing maintenance on all these HomePods is full. I have no room left. My iron, it is dead. Check out these cool moves. Well, pow. And start. Excellent. Red line straight from a cold start. That's the way I do it here. That's the way we drive here. Especially when it's like below freezing outside. I love going out and starting my car and immediately redlining it. Makes it way quicker to warm up. Solder the dead caps together. You know, we could I was curious if any of those were actually connected since you, it's a totally different thought, but I was thinking about it. I was curious if I could bridge any of these caps together and it would be okay, but you cannot bridge any of them together. I should just make a giant solid cube of dead caps, though that's a great idea. I'm gonna do that. Do a dance. So these are the filters that love to go bad over time and cause death farts. Roast your bass speaker. You know, that sort of stuff. Things that Class D audio amps don't really appreciate too much. Geez, Billy, 4 filters at once? Yes, sir. That's how we do it around here. Let's get that, let's see if it needs to be replaced. No, it does not. We've got a 26K data diode on there, so that one is not going to fail and cause any power issues. So we'll get this back together. We'll give them a warranty on it. We'll use a new subwoofer gasket too, of course. And that should set this HomePod straight for quite a long time. Of course, you can't prevent everything. Oh, we've gotten a pretty good idea of what commonly fails in these. Oh, I'll get that later. Oh geez, that would not last very long. Solder tends to not make very great structural material. It likes to crack and bend and corrode. But it's still tempting. A cube would be pretty doable though, at least. We could probably make about a cube about this big, actually, out of what we've got so far. Maybe 1.5 times bigger. Ooh, that's gonna be one stinky cube. One stinky, sticky cube. I've been needing to make like jewelry and various accessories out of all these dead chips and parts from HomePods that we've saved over the years. New gasket. Alright, we'll make sure we didn't break anything. Beautiful. We'll give that a thorough testing. For now, we'll move on to Dave here with no power. Sure enough, no lights, no power. We've got 7 watts of power. Okay, now it dropped down to 6. So that looks pretty normal for a dead diode. The only thing that makes me question it is a crack in the top right here. That seems to be... Well, that could indicate that this was dropped on its head at some point, and maybe we've got display to the damage to the display rather, causing our issues here, or that just happened on its way to us and we'll have to deal with the insurance. But we'll make sure with Dave here that whether or not they sent it into us looking like that or not. The cracks in these can be almost unnoticeable for quite some time. About 2 or 3 years ago when I sold a few refurbished HomePods on local classifieds like OfferUp and Craigslist, I brought a space gray one that I had fixed up to resell, to meet up with someone, and when I brought it outside out of my car and we met up outside in a parking lot and I was giving it to him, I could see, but only in direct sunlight, a couple of cracks that had formed in the top. And I was like, oh man. But I told him, I was like, hey look, I just fixed this. I told everyone, these aren't virgin per se, they've been opened and repaired, but it is better in the long. Repaired ones will, in theory, last longer than ones that haven't had any issues yet. Just by nature of those filters that all HomePods have, both the first and second gens, and eventually they will all decay and need to be replaced before they fry the subwoofer. I don't think it's going to be a HomePod with an iPad screen. I think you misheard them. I think what they said was it's going to be a HomePod that comes with ice cream. Buy two HomePods, get a free ice cream. How is ice cream supposed to have intelligent Siri? Oh, it will be interesting though to see. Will it be a HomePod with a screen? Will it be an iPhone SE without the home button and put an end to that saga? Will it be a cheaper Apple Vision Pro? I don't know if I've seen anybody mention that. Why is this acting so weird? There we go. And now for the star of the show here. A dead 46K dated Schottky diode. Or maybe a new AirTag. You know, the design of the invite for the event. That's what it made me think. It's shaped just like an AirTag. It looks a lot like an AirTag, but it would be kind of funny. I'll fix that cap when we put this new diode on here. There we go. I didn't even have to do anything. Fixed itself. And it doesn't matter if the diode's touching that cap right above it. They're internally connected. It's all the same. So that's good. That's all fixed up and ready to put back together. Vision Pro 2 canceled. Vision Pro SE. That's what's up. No, don't cancel my SE. Final boss. I'm gonna lose it. There we go. Have I tried the Vision Pro? I have not. Oh no, I have. I did. We got a new one at the one at the office. I only tried it for a few minutes, but it's pretty good. I don't think I could pay retail price for one, but I would easily pay half as much for a used one even.
having trouble connecting to the internet. For more info, check the Home app. I'm having...
All right. That is looking and sounding real good. Real. On to the next one. We can do it. We're gonna catch up. Let's see what we've got for quad. No lights, no power. The usual power draw for a dead diode. Here we go. Oof. Did he not send the MacBook? What's your tracking say? Did you get a tracking number? Well, I mean, in Serbia, I mean, you only get the Mike only gets the money after he sends you the laptop, so you're good to go, Stefan. Sounds like a great deal to me if that's what he's got. Sorry, you can drink and drive in Serbia? Or is there like a limit? Like a legal limit like there is in America? Oh, I see. Yeah. Don't forget the obligatory at-fault car accident where you come out unscratched, but you kill a family. That's why I love doing these HomePod repairs in this whole business at home. Because I can crack open a couple of beers, knock out some work, not worry about having to drive anywhere. If I have no food and I've been drinking, I'll DoorDash food before I drink and drive and what have you. Oh, but I've got a friend that's like adamant that they can drink and drive, that they're capable of doing it. It blows my mind of people that brag about that stuff. They're very strict with phones. Interesting. It was someone on their phone that got into a car accident. I know it's not called a car accident because that implies they didn't mean to do it, that it was a mistake. But they made a full conscious choice to look at their phone instead of look at the freaking road in front of them and plow into me, straight up T-bone me at 40 miles an hour. The moment before they impacted me, I could actually see them coming at me out of the corner of my eye, and I had enough time in my head to actually think, like, what the hell are you doing? Shouldn't you, like, not be there right now? And then they hit me. Boom. And then, we get out, the cops show up. Cops ask me what happened. I tell them what happened. She ran a red light. My light was perfectly green. What does she do? She lies to the cops and says that she swears that her light was green. And within a minute, one of the other officers had pulled up the traffic cameras. Thank God. And had her on camera running a red light brazenly. Like she was speeding 5 miles over the limit, and her light was red for a good 4 to 6 blocks before she had gotten to the intersection. She was clearly just not paying attention. And as soon as the cops said, like, pretty much, you're lying, you're at fault, you ran a red light, she like started crying and like, oh, she never told me she never once said that she was sorry to me. I think the cat got to Mike's keyboard. Is it America the way everyone tells it? I would hang tight. I would wait and see what happens after. You know, we'll see where things are at in 4 to 6 years, and then get excited about moving here. Yeah, listen to Mike. I won't talk about it, but listen to Mike. We won't talk about it here. We're here for fixing HomePods. But you're welcome to prod me for my hot takes in my Discord server. I won't have any good ones, but mine are as stinky as anyone else's. Hell yeah, Mike. Nix Fix Canada coming soon. The only countries that I will consider moving to, as silly as it is, but it's my bread and it's my bread and butter. So countries where there isn't anyone else fixing HomePods. And right now, the two countries that come to my mind where I don't know of anybody offering repair services for HomePods are Canada and Japan. And, well, Japan's a strong contender, but Canada would be much easier to get into. Oh. Yes, it is working. It is alive and well. They are opting for the reset and update, so we will make sure that happens and it goes without a hitch. Let's take a look next at 297. We're getting there. We got this one and two more. Let's see what we can do here. No lights, no power. The usual draw from the wall for a dead diode. How many HomePods are there in Serbia though? Cause like, yeah, I could move to Serbia, but if there aren't a lot of HomePods there to fix in the first place, then it might not be the best idea for me. Sure, I can fix other electronics, but most of my experience and familiarity are with these, and so far I've had quite a few people from Canada still go ahead, and despite the more expensive shipping, they still send it all the way to us. And then Japan, we've had a few people reach out. We've fixed two of them. Usually people can't afford the shipping though. Beans, what is up? Glad you can make it. That one was being stubborn. No match, though. Francisco, did you see I got a Devi LA Phantom? It's broken, unfortunately. I can't reset it, it makes no sound. And I've already taken it apart and I don't see anything wrong with it. Seems to be some sort of firmware issue maybe, unfortunately. And as expected, they don't give you a way to restore them. So that's a big bummer. My first Devi LA experience will have to wait for a while longer. Yeah, Serbian would be completely foreign to me. And probably a lot of people. Serbian, Russian. Okay, no, I do know a couple of Russian words, but I mean 99.99. It would all be pretty much completely foreign to me. The only languages I will say that I would be at all anything familiar with, even just a few words, would be Spanish. I know the most of. German, I know a few words. Japanese, a few words, and like I think that's about it. Aside from that, and I mean even those other ones, it's like I can speak a little bit of Spanish, and I can't speak any of the other ones. I just know a few words, and I'm vaguely familiar with how the language sounds. Yeah, see that what you typed out there, that is absolutely insane to me. No clue. Crazy. How many of those iFixit Spedgers have you gone through? These guys? This is actually my second one. Here's my first one. But nope, that is only my second one. I feel like it's getting there though. It might fail in the same way soon. Looks Russian, to be honest. I didn't want to say it, but that's what it looked like to me. Yeah. And it's not called Russian, right? It's called Cyrillic or something. I have no idea. I don't even know how to say what it's called. Yeah, even more ironic that most people that learn English as a second language, from what I can tell, in my experience at least, they tended to speak it better than most native English speakers that I know. And that's not to say that most native English speakers I talk to, like, speak awful broken English. It's just simpler. It's usually just simpler dialogue. Simpler, more efficient dialogue. But then you've got people that learn it as a second or third language, and they learn the ins and outs. They really do. It's not just, I don't know. Maybe that's just how I've experienced things and not how everything really is. Total disaster. There we go. Crisis averted. There we go. So we've got some new filters on there to start. These have nothing to do with the power issue at hand, but they do often go bad, as all ceramic capacitors naturally do. And those ones in particular are the DC filters for the audio. So that will lead to death farts and all sorts of bass issues. You'll see in our next repair coming up here what happens when those filters do go bad. So it being one of the most common issues we have these HomePods coming in for, we like to replace those filters as part of every hardware repair. If a HomePod's getting taken apart and getting its amp in front of us here, it's going to get new filters. But here we are now at the diode that has failed and caused their power issues. We'll get that replaced. The only reason this diode failed was because of a certain date range of them not being manufactured to the usual standard and failing for no good reason. These are normally protection diodes, but in this case they have caused issues. So we'll get it replaced with a new one. That'll permanently prevent the same issue from happening again. And with all that, plus a new subwoofer gasket to replace the old foam one, that should make this one happy, healthy HomePod for as long as we can make it. How do the filters stay on? Oh, no, we what you saw us do there with the filters was we removed the old ones with heat, and then we apply flux to the board, and then fresh new solder to the board, and then a little more flux, and then we stick the new filters on there and use the heat gun to reflow them into place. So they do get new solder. And then as for the diode, the pads for the diode on the amplifier board take a significant amount of heat. So what I do for that is, instead of soldering the board, I apply the new solder to the new diode. I don't want to do that to the capacitors. I do not want to use a soldering iron. You don't either. Don't use a soldering iron on ceramic capacitors like those, because unless your iron has a tip big enough to fully cover the diode and evenly heat it up, what you're doing with any normal iron is you're unevenly heating up the capacitor very rapidly at that too. And since ceramic caps are a crystalline structure, it causes micro cracks and micro fractures. It messes it up. It reduces its longevity. So it'll work, and it very well may work better than what you're replacing, but it won't last as long as it could. So you want to use hot air as much as you can for ceramic capacitors so that they're evenly heated and cooled. It's snowing over where you're at right now, Stefan? Crazy. Congrats on the snow. How often does it snow where you're over where you're at? It's also been snowing a little bit over here, on and off the past few days. Last week, enough for a few inches. Stuck around for a little bit. Kept me home from going into the office. That sounds like great weather for me. I don't like hot, sunny weather. I like dry and or cold. Folks, give us 1 second here. Okay.
I'm having trouble connecting to the internet. Dismiss Siri. For more info, check the home app.
Alright, that is good and alive and well. Dan, welcome back. Welcome back. Oh, yeah, not a bad little guy. I've been trying to get this 14-inch touchscreen to act as a bigger stream deck, essentially. I just haven't gotten around to configuring all the buttons, but yeah, I've thoroughly enjoyed, and clearly we really use our stream deck here. All right, so we've got John, and then a random anonymous no power here, and that's it. So here we go. John, excuse me. Do I use oh yeah, I use OBS. My overhead camera is a Sony ZV-E10. Is it ZV-E10 or ZF-E10? Can't remember. I got it like 2 or 3 years ago now. We've been dailying it ever since. This camera here is an iPhone 12 or 13 Pro Max, and this camera here is a Galaxy Note 8. And then we use OBS, and ooh. Alright, let's see. So we've got DC filters here. I'm sure if we let this sit around for long enough, it would start death farting on us, but I don't want to put the subwoofer through any more torture than it's already been through. Almost sliced my hand open there. I'm gonna shut up while I work on this part real quick. He forgot to be right back. Oh yeah. No, I intentionally didn't transition because I was still letting this one turn on, and as silly of a reason as it is, I don't want someone watching the live stream to think that we swapped the HomePod out for a working one right after fixing it before actually testing it and showing you that it works. but I did have to be right back. 1 second. Okay. It is an excellent camera, yes. And the reason why I bought it, I was originally, for the first few months of our repair streams, I was using my iPhone 11 Pro Max. I would mount it up and set it up for the stream every time. But I needed something that I could mount high up enough that I wouldn't be hitting my head on it, moving around. And I also wanted a powerful optical zoom. And the ZV-E10 just fit the bill perfectly. And I mean, look at you. Don't look at my fingernails, I'm sorry. But it's a fantastic camera. My only complaint with it is it can get a little thermally sensitive. I've adjusted the settings, but sometimes on hotter days it still shuts itself down after, 30 minutes to an hour into a stream. But if I stick a fan on it, we can keep it going. It's just extra noise that I prefer to avoid. But that is my only complaint. I use its HDMI out, and I pipe that into an Elgato Streamlink. Is that what it's called? I don't know. It's some USB HDMI capture card that does 4K 60. I'm like Popeye the Sailor Man, but instead of his spinach powering him through a big punch right through some jackwagon's face, it's a good old swig of beer to power me through the next 9 screws in this pry here. Oh, there we go. Easy. Ooh. All right, I'll just replace that. I'll use that subwoofer in one of my HomePods. How about that? Oh wait, did it need to get replaced? Because if it needed to get replaced, darn. Nah, still good. Nah, I can smack it back straight with a hammer, no big deal. But still, I'll put a subwoofer that I did not just drop off my desk back into John's HomePod here. I won't do that to him. I would do that to Mike. I wouldn't do that to John though. And this is another reason why also that you don't offer a repair service for something that you don't have spare parts for. Pro tip number 1 right there. Now that doesn't go without saying, don't take one-off repair requests. You know, like we specialize in the HomePods here, but we get people emailing us with random stuff here and there. I love shell swapping Steam Decks. I love it so much. I love it so much I might lower my pricing a little bit on it to get more people to send them in. It's hard for me to justify it though because it takes about 2 hours to do it. If we get better at it, we could get it probably down to an hour. I've already got the whole process memorized. I just need to optimize it at this point. But I have to charge a little more for a Steam Deck shell swap than I do a HomePod repair because it takes way more time. We're in, fixed, and out of a HomePod in 15 minutes if we're breaking our record. But a Steam Deck shell swap, well, we could fix 1, 4, 8. We could fix up to 8 HomePods in the time it takes us to shell swap a Steam Deck. And I'm only charging $100 for the Steam Deck shell swap versus $60 to $80 for the HomePod repair. And I'm taking on the liability of anything breaking while trying to do it. If you try to swap your own Steam Deck shell and you break something, you're paying to replace it yourself. But at least if you pay me to do it, I make it work right if I break anything. Case in point, actually, we had a fellow send in a shell swap to us a few weeks ago. It was actually the purple one. It was the clear purple one that we live streamed here. And when we got it back together on stream, you saw all the buttons working there with us. We tested it, it was working fine. But there were 2 things that we forgot to do. There were a couple of grills that we needed to put in there. So I, after the stream, I popped it back apart real quick, easy peasy. Pop the grills in there, good to go. Send it off to him. And, oops. Their left joystick doesn't work, along with the shoulder button. And I immediately knew what happened. When I had taken it back apart to do the finishing touches, I didn't reconnect the ribbon cable for those. I was happy to send them a shipping label and have them send it back. It actually showed back up today, and I was correct. It was just a disconnected ribbon cable from my finishing touches. Serves me right for not retesting it after again. Because, again, I tested it. Everything worked. And then I took it apart and I took it apart just to do that quick little thing. But that quick little thing is enough of an impact to lose half your controller's functionality if you don't plug it back in, you know? Easy. No problem. You live and you learn. I am much happier with a simple mistake like that I can easily fix and pay a couple, lose a couple bucks in the double shipping than it be some kind of hardware damage that I inflicted attempting the repair or the shell swap on top of failing to test and catch that problem before sending it back to them. Well, gosh golly, everything else looks great on this. We have a 52K dated diode. We don't have any toasty looking resistors from this mess. This is ready to go back together. And then we've got one last one to work on here. Move to Serbia if I I love food. Okay, what is the deal with this particular screw and this particular thread? I am going to solder this thing together if I have to, I swear to God. Different screw works just fine. You know what I have to say about that? I'll replace it with a different one. Screw 'em. Oh, here we go again. Ooh, alright. What right over the HomePod? I missed what I did over the HomePod. What did I do over the HomePod? What did I do that was disapproving? I apologize. I preemptively apologize. ASMR HomePod repair. That's what the 10-minute time-lapse video is. Do you not enjoy the sounds of me doing all of this stuff but at 15 times faster speed? Oh, beer? Nah, don't worry about it, folks. I do give a good wipe down with a rag soaked in rubbing alcohol before I ship everybody's HomePods back out. So, at the very least, you should be getting something back cleaner than what you sent. But also, I'm not messing around with you know, whatever the heck's been floating around and whatever else is floating around. Who knows? I don't want to get anyone else sick, and I don't want to get sick. With the rags. Yeah. Stefan saw right through me. Dang it. That is really far off. Ah, there we go. I don't know. I'm just I'm really naughty with food near electronics. I've never been good about it. I never will be. When my wife first moved in with me, and we still lived with a bunch of other roommates, I would let her use my MacBook Air all the time, and I took it right back from her one day, and I sliced up a couple kiwis on the back of it. Used it as a cutting board. I don't care. I don't care. No, I will for you folks. I will give this a quick wipe down right here, though. Very nice. Wait, I already replaced their subwoofer. I don't want to hear anyone complain about it. Where's Mike? Is Mike dead? Did Mike really die? Did a plane finally show up to his gate? Fruit extract with alcohol. Is it a fruit extract with alcohol mixed into it, or is it a fruit extract that is fermented and produces alcohol by itself? I'm very interested in the latter. The former isn't. We got all sorts of stuff like that here. I moved to Serbia while you end up moving to America. We just trade places for a while. See how we like it. We end up both hating it both. Like I end up hating living in Serbia and you end up hating living in America, and we say screw it and move back to our original places anyways. Oh, but I am, I don't know. I am personally of the belief that the grass is not always greener on the other side. And I'm going to be hard pressed to leave everything that I've built up, become familiar with. But if it comes to it, if I gotta, then I gotta. One more.
What?
One more.
She might fall asleep. I don't know. She's phone call.
I wouldn't mind like getting dinner too, or something like sushi instead. Like that would be fun in a movie. We can do one of them. We can do whatever.
Oh, wait, we need to get Karen. Anyway.
Like we can, like that, all of that will be fine till tomorrow.
Yeah, but I'm gonna get strawberries. So we can do chocolate strawberries too.
Okay.
Sorry.
I just want dinner soon.
I'm gonna
I'm getting
eat
hungry.
before we go.
What are we gonna eat before we go?
Could order sushi.
Oh, okay.
You wanted? Did
Yeah.
you say you wanted sushi?
Yeah.
Gotta make up your mind.
No, I do. I just
Yeah.
didn't want to wait for all of that and then go. But if you don't care, then I don't care.
No.
Okay.
But I would like to go out with you
Yeah. Then yes.
Friday night.
Then that's what we will do.
But I don't want to go out to eat. It's Valentine's Day. It's gonna be fun.
Yeah. Yep.
Batman. Batman. I love you, big boy. I gotta go back in here now.
That is much better.
I'm having trouble connecting.
So of course you can't ever completely get rid of that pop or tick or click as it wakes up and goes to sleep, but you should be able to get it down to pretty much unnoticeable, even if, you know, especially if you've got background noise around. If you stick your ear next to it, you know, you'll probably notice something, but do it to a second gen, you'll hear the same thing. Do it to a brand new first or second gen HomePod, you'll hear the same thing. It's just the way that it is. It's not a HomePod thing. It's a moderate to high power audio amplifier thing. Class D audio amp. Meme. Here we go. Have we let... Oh, we didn't let them know. 389. Let's see here. Oh. I did not let them know. Let's go ahead and let them know. Bum bada bum bada bum bada bum bada bum. Here we go. Copy that floppy. All right. 389 has been messaged. This is the last one that we've got the time for today. No lights, no power. The usual power draw. That to me looks like the usual dead diode. I don't know. I don't like I like the big city perks, but I don't like the big city cons. Like having to deal with traffic and just anytime you want to do anything, it's just the same time that anybody else is doing, everyone else is doing it. It's like you want to go get groceries, you want to go get food, you want to go do something recreationally. Apparently so is everyone else. Why bother? I don't want to spend my whole life waiting to do a bunch of things. I want to do them, or I want to find something else to do. I hate waiting. I am not impatient, but I also hate waiting. Now, like, for example, I'm perfectly fine with getting a good deal on something and waiting for it to get delivered to me. Ooh, which is ironic, because when I was a kid, I was real impatient about it. I was constantly checking the tracking numbers of my stuff, foaming at the mouth for the moment that they even dropped it off at the post office, let alone for the day that it was scheduled to be delivered to me. Any time that there was any kind of delay. Super upsetting. Super stressful. And then I just kind of stopped caring. It got to the point where, like, yeah, if it shows up, great. I got what I paid for. It'll get here when it gets here. If it doesn't, I have recourse to get my money back somehow. And worrying about it just doesn't change anything. And, yeah. Life got easier. Just a little. Belgrade is like a smaller New York City. See, if there's somewhere I can go that, like if you have an e-waste or like a technology recycling center that I can go through and basically dig through piles of people's discarded electronics and buy it, we're set. We're good. I'll take it. I'll move there. That's all I want, is people's unwanted junk. People want to live on the bleeding edge. I'm perfectly fine with living a few years behind on for a big discount. Football fields of random technology. Ugh. Stefan, you're speaking to me. I'm sure there's places like that here in America, but haven't come across one yet. Well, okay. I've been to a few swap meets, but usually it's been like sketchy, low-quality car stereos and cheap, crappy electronics. Not anything that anyone really wants. Some older stuff. Yeah, actually, there's this place called Yardbirds up in Olympia that's pretty cool. Actually, I'm gonna talk to my wife. Maybe we can do that this weekend. Oh, that'll be fun. Ooh, yes, Stefan. If you would send the Discord server pictures of that, that would be so cool. Because right now I have a few different mental images of what it looks like, but I have no idea what it truly looks like. $5 to $10 per kilogram. That's the kind of e-waste that I'm talking about. Yeah. $15 laptops. Let's go. I remember when I was a kid, back in high school, my friends and I went to an e-waste center. I got my first good score. It was a ThinkPad. This was back in 2010, or like 2011. I scored a ThinkPad T60P for like $15. They only charged 10 or $15 for each of their laptops, and it didn't matter what it was. Oh, and what's crazy is most of the stuff usually worked, or like it just had a busted hard drive or a missing piece of hardware here or there. The thrill of a cheap buy and then going home and figuring out what is wrong with it and fixing it. Alright. Those are some fine and fancy looking filters if you ask me. Let's get that diode out of here and then let's get ourselves out of here. It is, of course, the 48K dated diode. Alright. Ooh, just in time too, my elbow is starting to give up. Pain meds are starting to wear off. Let's get this together before we can't. Okay, appreciate it, Stefan. I mean, don't get stuck in the snow and catch frostbite over my curiosity, but I am very curious to see what it looks like. I will return the favor, though. I will talk to my wife and see if she wants to go to our equivalent this weekend and share pictures. Assuming people are there. It snowed a little bit here too. I don't know if it's any worse down there. It's about an hour and a half away from us. But it's been a few years since we've been down there, and I think she will love the idea of going back. I don't think we've taken our kid there yet. Yes, alright, we are done. Which means it's dinner time. Bam! Oh no, Bam, I am so sorry. You made it to the last minute of our stream today. You know, that's kind of my fault. I guess I could be more on top of posting whenever I stream in the Discord server. Let you folks know there. Because I suppose YouTube notifications are broken, as always. "5 minutes from your house?" Oh, dude, I'd be there I would probably be going there every day. Every day. My friends and I used to go to the e-waste centers every day after school. My favorite pastime is just looking through all the junk. Seeing what people threw away. Not even buying most of it, just seeing what people threw away. But there we go. We've got power. iMac Judah, welcome back. Welcome to the end of, unfortunately, the end of our stream today. And I hate to drop you guys and leave so quick, but I got things to do. I got food to eat and a wife and kid to enjoy the weekend with. Goodness, it's been a while since we've not had so much to work on and actually take a little bit of time off and enjoy it.
I'm having trouble.
Well, there you go, folks. I hope you all enjoyed this live stream repair, and I hope to catch you all on the next one. Goodbye.